I am going to be amazed if this extremely Halloween-themed video actually comes out before Halloween, because for some reason my ADHD adult brain did not feel like working on this until October 29th. Hello and welcome back to my channel where I make art and talk about things. I'm Asher and I'm drawing a bunch of characters from the Halloweentown movie series. I had the idea earlier this month when I threw on the first movie and decided to pick my favorite character from each movie to draw for my video this month. And that's what we're doing, so we're just gonna dive right in and get started.
It's the Saturday premiere of Disney's new and original movie, Halloweentown, where you'll join three kids on a not-so-ordinary visit to Grandma's house.
What a witch's life it is!
Remember, a family that stirs together, stays together. So tune into the Saturday premiere of Disney's original movie, Halloweentown.
I accidentally forgot to record my screen while drawing this first character, but I at least have the time-lapse to put something up. It's pretty short though, so I'll see what I can do to fill in the time while I talk a little bit about the first movie. Released in 1998 on the Disney Channel, the first Halloweentown movie is endlessly charming. Obviously, I have nostalgia-colored glasses for these films, but there's just something so cute about the kids and the costumes. The monster designs in particular are super fun, and all of the shenanigans and fun and silliness around a place called Halloweentown. I absolutely would have been in love with this as a kid. My birthday is actually the day after Halloween, and so I've always been really attached to the holiday. I actually only found out this year that the movie was filmed in St. Helens and Scappoose, Oregon, which is my home state, and they actually did a big 25th year celebration and screening back in 2023 in St. Helens that I am so sad I missed, and maybe they'll do another one in the future that I can go to, because I think that would be a lot of fun. When picking a favorite character, I'll admit I was expecting to pick Grandma Aggie, played by Debbie Reynolds. She is, after all, the best thing in these movies, and she is a grandma that we all want to know and someday become. Extremely sweet, loving, and witchy, she is an absolute delight every time she's on screen. You definitely get the sense that Reynolds is having a great time, and I love that in a movie. I love when I'm watching a movie and I can feel that the actors are having fun. Part of me was also considering Sophie, who was my favorite when I was a kid. But then...
Excuse me, sir. Miss Sticky here. I'll get right to the point. I have a very urgent message. Somebody's on pins and needles. Pins and needles.
Credited simply as Pincushion Secretary and played by Michelle Mariana, I immediately pictured this cute, chibi-fied version of her and knew she was the one for this first movie. She is so funny for the minute she's in here, fluttering out of her office and giving 110% the entire time she's on screen. Honestly, whoever thought of this character deserves a raise for that alone, as she's one of the only monsters featured in the town who is completely original, with the others being ghosts, werewolves, vampires, very classic creatures, except this one secretary. And she's great. And apparently it has caused some discussion online of people trying to figure out if being a pincushion is like her species. And I think that's very silly.
Tonight, your favorite witches are back, and so is the wrath of Kalabar.
Someone has to take my place as head of the Cromwell line.
And he's sent a new warlock to make trouble in Halloweentown. Can Marnie and the Cromwell witches stop him?
Now he's gonna turn the humans into creatures.
That's not normal.
Kimberly J. Brown and Debbie Reynolds star in a Disney Channel original movie.
We are out of here!
Halloweentown 2, Kalabar's Revenge. Tonight at 8/7 Central on Disney.
Halloweentown 2, Kalabar's Revenge came out 3 years later in 2001. It opens with a brief but accurate overview of the first movie, which I will summarize since I haven't done that yet. Basically, on Halloween night, the three Cromwell children, Marnie, Dylan, and Sophie, all followed their grandmother Aggie onto a magic bus which takes them to Halloweentown, where all the monsters and magic folk live in peace and happiness, separate from the human world. The kids find out that they are all half witch and have magic powers, despite their mother, Gwen's, attempts to keep it from them. At the same time, Aggie senses a darkness in Halloweentown. This darkness turns out to be the mayor, Kalabar, who they defeat by working together as a family in the finale of the movie. It ends with all of them, including Aggie, going back to the human world. Yay! The second movie also takes place 3 years later, where things are kind of the same, with Gwen and Aggie constantly arguing about magic appropriateness, except now it's not a secret within the family, and both Marnie and Sophie have been learning magic under their mother and grandmother's guidance. Not Dylan though, because he has a terrible case of middle child syndrome and tries to do everything he can to get his mother's attention, and since his mother disapproves of magic, he will have none of that stuff, no siree Bob. And no, he does not get much better as the movies go on. The movie itself is about Kalabar's son, Cal, presumably Kalabar Jr., I guess, who has decided to do a little revenge against both Halloweentown and the mortal world through a stereotypes made real spell. Essentially, it turns the Halloweentown folks into their stereotypes of humans, becoming gray and boring, and there is something extremely funny about how the primary terror of the movie is essentially being consumed by the millennial gray movement. Same concept for the humans. They'll become the horrible monster version of whatever costume they're wearing for Halloween. Makes for a decent scene near the end. The mom becomes nightmare fuel. It's fine and kind of fun. Now, for picking my favorite character in this movie, hands down it had to be Gort. Gort, the drunk man, is such a bombastic character, and Blue Mankuma plays him so well in both his normal version and his great human version. His switch in mannerisms, especially the way he talked, is fantastic, and I hope he had a ton of fun in the role. It was kind of funny because I recently rewatched the miniseries Tin Man, where he plays a character simply called Tutor. It's supposed to be the series version of Toto. And while I was looking at his IMDb, I found out that he's also the voice of Flutter Guy from My Little Pony.
She's an evil enchantress and she does evil dances. And if you look deep in her eyes, she will put you in trances. Then what will she do? She'll mix up an evil brew. Then she'll gobble you up in a big tasty stew. So, watch out.
Incredible. Gort is just so much fun, and there's a reason he's one of the few characters from the movies that has actual memes out on the internet. He has a gruff personality, he has a pet cockroach named Spike, he has a time door with a wormhole in it, he has socks. What more could you possibly ask for? A quick note about this movie that I have to mention. The antagonist Cal is played by Daniel Kuntz, and is constantly hitting on Marnie in the movie, doing this whole join me and become my queen kind of bullshit. He very much takes after his dad in this respect, but apparently the actors of Marnie and Cal, these two actors, actually got real life married in 2024. And he also voiced Brigveir in God of War Ragnarok.
Which is how you ended up in prison.
Where she and I met. As enemies, naturally, but escaped as friends. More than friends.
You can stop talking.
Okay. Good luck out there.
I thought that was a fun little fact. Sometimes it's just a lot of fun to look through the IMDb pages of actors that you really only know from that one thing and discover other places they've shown up without you even realizing it.
It's the gang from Halloweentown.
Need I remind you, I'm a witch?
Marnie! And homework is the least of their worries.
I pity the knight that has to tussle with you.
Lucas Grabeel from High School Musical stars with Kimberly J. Brown.
We are so gonna do this.
In the Disney Channel original movie, Halloweentown High. Tomorrow at 8/7 Central.
You know what we've had too much of in these Halloweentown movies? Halloweentown. Yeah, the third movie, Halloweentown High 2004, is the first where all of the big behind the scenes people, the director, screenwriters, and producer, changed to a new team, and I feel like it shows in both this and the next movie. While I still had fun watching this movie, it definitely feels different, becoming more of a high school movie instead of a Halloweentown movie. After the last movie, where Marnie changed the magic rules to allow travel between Halloweentown and the human world year-round, which was honestly not very hard to do, by the way, but everyone's making a big deal about it, she has since appealed to the Halloweentown Council to allow monsters to return to the human world and reintegrate together. I do need to mention real quick that I actually really like the designs of all of the council members. The guy with the multiple hands is really funny. I think the mummy who only says yay or nay is pretty good. Quality points for those guys. Back to the plot. Marnie keeps saying humans have changed. She says this several times in the movies, and it's kind of the crux of the theme and the plot. And she ends up accidentally betting her entire family's magic that she can prove it in order to, create stakes in the movie. They give her until Halloween to convince them, and then a bunch of monster kids in human disguises show up for Marnie to babysit, including Natalie, the pink troll. Drawing Natalie for this movie was a no-brainer. I loved her when the movie first came out. I love her design and her big poofy hair. I think Dylan is an absolute idiot for treating her the way he does after seeing her real appearance. She is adorable, and he deserves everything he gets in the fourth movie for being mean to her. I actually even dressed up as a troll for Halloween the year after this came out, based off of her design, except I chose orange instead of pink because pink was icky and girly and gross. For longtime Disney Channel watchers, Natalie is one of two familiar faces here, as she is played by Olesa Rulin, and another character, a warlock named Ethan, is played by Lucas Grabiel. 2 years later, in 2006, they appeared again in a movie you might have heard of called High School Musical. While I'm on this topic, I have to mention Ethan's Halloween outfit. This spooky cowboy ensemble with the spider polo is such a look. There was a half second where I considered picking him just so I could draw this outfit. Even though I still had fun watching this movie and I do have a fondness for it, I find it not as strong as the previous two. Like I said, we never go to Halloweentown itself, which is just disappointing, and honestly, I feel like there's not enough magic in this movie. Marnie literally changed the magic laws or whatever last time. Why isn't she seen casting more spells? There's barely any Sophie in it, probably due to the bloated cast, and I really don't like what they did to Aggie's bag. It had plenty of character and personality as a simple Mary Poppins bag cruising across the sidewalk. It did not need to become a lizard. Quickfire thoughts. The word freak is used way too often in this movie. I don't know how to feel about the makeup of the werewolf kid. Gwen is at her absolute best here, as she's finally being allowed to develop past her anti-magic self from the first movie, which will get completely retconned for the fourth one. And I found everything to do with the night to be absolutely hilarious. The idea of this man slipping on his custom night gloves to bang on a locker is comedy gold. He is so silly. And once more, fuck Dylan for not being more into Natalie after seeing her real form. She deserves better. She is adorable. Quick intermission. I just wanted to say that if you like this video, you might enjoy this other recap video on the series by Athena P. She's really funny, and I also enjoy her Tinkerbell stuff. There is so much Tinkerbell lore, it's kind of crazy. Link to that in the description, and while you're down there, if you feel like giving a like and subscribing, that would also be cool. Making videos takes a lot of work, and that is a small way to tell me that someone else is getting something out of these. Thank you, and now let us return to Halloweentown.
Return to to Halloweentown with Sarah Paxton and High School Musical's Lucas Grabeel.
Fulfill your destiny, Marnie.
Marnie starts college at Witch University.
Marnie Piper is the one we have waited for.
And finds herself the key to a sinister conspiracy.
They're plotting to use your magic to make slaves out of all the other creatures.
Unlock the ultimate secret.
Marnie, they want to rule Halloweentown.
Return to Halloweentown, a Disney Channel original movie, tonight at 8/7 Central on Disney Channel.
The fourth and final Halloweentown, called Return to Halloweentown, was not very fun to watch. I was actually talking a little bit to my spouse about these movies, and they implied that I was putting too much thought into these films and into like the value of how good they are. And I had to explain that I'm judging it on a basis of being Disney Channel original movies. I'm not like looking at it in comparison to the rest of the world of movies. And I think that the real mark of a good Disney Channel movie is whether or not it is fun to watch. I think if it doesn't have that fun factor, it's just not meeting the bar. And this movie did not meet that bar. Released in 2006, Return to Halloweentown stood out less for its content and more for its casting, or lack thereof, as Marnie, the main character, was recast, replacing Kimberly J. Brown with Sarah Paxton. Side note, Paxton was also in Aquamarine that same year, and I like her much more in that movie, I'm not gonna lie.
Mermaid. How did you get in here? I use these. I have to find love. We don't have it where I'm from. The only way I can get out of my wedding is if I can prove to my dad that love exists. I only get 3 days, and I want love. With him. Raymond? Raymond. Raymond's way too popular. If you help a mermaid, you get a wish. Can we wish that you don't have to move? Yes!
We begin where every girl starts with her first crush. We call him.
Hello?
That was fantastic! Let's do it again.
Unfortunately, it sounds like Marnie's recasting was a decision made by execs and not by either of the actresses themselves, which really sucks and highlights how much the people who made this movie might have failed to understand why people like the series in the first place. I personally am not a big Marnie fan in general, but I especially dislike her in this movie as she has been completely scrubbed of any of her witchy quirks to become just another pretty high school girl. Except now she's a pretty college girl, but it's the same vibes. I think you already know you're in for a bad time when the movie opens with a prophecy that has never been hinted at, and we learn that Marnie is the chosen one for something. There's an evil teacher club who needs her to open a magic box. I honestly don't care much about the plot, and even the one scene I could remember from my childhood, the library scene, was somewhat lackluster this time around. We don't even have Grandma Aggie in this movie, instead being offered a near one-to-one knockoff in the character Professor Periwinkle. As I was watching this movie, I legit started to get worried I wouldn't have a character to draw because I wasn't liking anyone. But then she appeared, and I had a few blissful minutes of genuine glee with the arrival of young Persimmon Periwinkle, played by Brighton Hertford.
Professor Periwinkle?
Sir, name's Persimmon, miss. Just a poor fruit monger, don't know no professor now, but I'm not like some of the uneducated dolts round here. I can read.
I know.
For reasons I don't really care to explain, Marnie goes back in time, using a different time travel spell from the one used in the second movie, I will note, and while she's there, she meets Persimmon, a much younger version of Professor Periwinkle, and she is such a breath of fresh air. Somehow all of the fun of the Halloweentown franchise got siphoned into her, and I just want more of her in this movie. I love her dress and her cheery demeanor, and she's just really cute and spunky, and then she's gone, and I endure the rest of whatever this is. Like, no shame if you legitimately like this movie, it just wasn't for me, and there's some weird choices which have weird implications. Besides the story, characters, and setting being not Halloween enough and uninteresting. The thing that was really driving me a little crazy was the weird affirmative action subtext and the monster slavery that kind of just snuck in there without anyone really saying anything about it. Again, I know this is just a dumb movie and you're not expected to notice or think about these things too much, but that's not how my brain works. So, part of the rules of Witch University is that witches/warlocks are not allowed to use magic because the school had to open up to everyone, to every race of creature after enrollment went down, because Marnie succeeded in proving that monsters could live in the human world, leading to many witches and warlocks going to school in the human world and causing enrollment at Witch University to go down. And the reason that no magic is allowed is because it would give magic users an unfair advantage over their non-magic classmates, which doesn't make any sense because it's college and you would just make a custom course for witches like it's their major. Also, the other creatures and monsters themselves also have their own unique abilities and features, like the genie who has genie magic, but I guess they're not as good as the witches and warlocks magic for some reason. Anyway, personally, I don't understand why it wasn't already open to everyone. I was under the impression that Halloweentown was, a town, even though it doesn't really feel like it in this movie, and they could probably take all the students they could get, assuming it was so small. It's one of those things where if you think about it, it doesn't really make any sense, but it does match with the goals of the Evil Teacher Club, who want to return Halloweentown to witch supremacy? And turn all the other creatures back into slaves? ... question mark? Like, it already has too many parallels to the history of race in the US, and then when we go back in time, we even see monsters in chains working under the rule of a queen-like white witch. And I'm not referring to her skin, she's literally dressed in all white, but it sure is an interesting choice. I'm not saying it was intentional, but there is a pretty clear one-to-one parallel between the history of Black Americans and the monsters, and I don't like that. Even if this is just a stupid Disney Channel original movie, it's just an awkward and unwelcomed bit of world building that never gets directly addressed in the movie, and I think that's the real problem I have with it, as there's never a point where the heroes say blatantly that magic users are not superior to everyone else. It's more like they imply that the good ones simply choose not to control everyone else, but they could if they wanted to. And I don't like it, and it's weird, and it needed to get a little more addressed and a little more thought through, I think. One final thing I have to complain about is how un-Halloween it is. I think I mentioned this a little bit earlier, but I think this is most obvious in the costuming. Halloweentown is supposed to be a place where it is Halloween all year, but everyone in this movie is dressed in casual college wear, with only the teachers looking somewhat witchy. There was a real opportunity for some fun Halloween meets college outfits, and they completely failed to take it in favor of average everyday clothes. It's such a letdown for a holiday where dressing up and decoration is such a big aspect of why people love it so much. Thank God for Persimmon, whose outfit is appropriately Halloween-esque. The fact that I saw it and thought, yeah, Rachel Maxey would definitely wear that signified it as a winner for this video.
Help me. Aviatus. Oh, you forgot your cloak! Fiddlesticks.
And there we have it, my favorite characters from each of the Halloweentown movies. Let me know who your favorite characters are from the franchise and which of these you liked. I'd love to hear from people. I quite like how these came out. Adding the outline makes them look kind of like stickers, and who knows, maybe I'll turn them into that someday. I'm kind of thinking about doing another video like this next year for Twitches that I also rewatched for the first time in like a decade this month, and I absolutely loved it. It actually caught me by surprise and made me cry a little bit, which I was not expecting at all, but it was just really cute and fun, and I liked it a lot. Either way, those are both ideas for me to mull over in the future. If you liked this video, comment, like, subscribe, all the YouTube things. If you feel like it, you don't have to. I'm trying to upload at least once a month, but it is a little tough while I am in school. I hope you have a wonderful day, week, whatever, and I'll see you next time. Bye!
In olden days, people from Ireland used large turnips as the first jack-o'-lantern.
Today we hollow out and decorate large pumpkins.
Happy Halloween from Disney!